Alright, so this is CAD Multiview Drawings 1. So I'm going to kind of bust through this fairly quickly. I'm going to mostly just show you how to place the views for the socket mount, the angle brace, and the pipe connector in this assignment. So first things first, we're going to download each of these parts, 1, 2, and 3. My mouse a little bit bigger for you. There we go. It's easier to see it. And I'm going to open these. So open part 1 and part 2 and part 3. So all 3 of these parts are really just kind of made up, but they are good practice pieces. So we're going to turn these into multi-view drawings. So first things first, I'm going to go File and say New and start a standard IDW, which is an Inventor drawing. So Create, and it's going to start a large file, and it's way too big for what we need. So I'm going to right click on sheet 1, say Edit, change it to size A, and OK. And then where it says ANSI large, I'm going to right click on that and just delete it. So that's going to get rid of this title block. Usually we'll keep it, but today we're just learning how to place the views. I'll say delete. And then I'm going to go ahead and drop in my first one. So I'll go base. That's where we get our first piece. It's going to open up the most recent part we downloaded. So we want, pardon me, socket mount. And I think this will probably be the best front view. And I'm going to change the scale to 2 to 1, so it's a lot larger. I also want to make sure that these two things here are highlighted so that my shaded key is set up and my hidden lines is. Yeah, that looks good. Click OK, or not yet, click OK, and I'm going to add a view here, here, and there. Now I do have one little problem. These two views are exactly the same. So I'm just going to get rid of one of these. And whenever it comes down to the front view versus the top or the right, the front view always wins. So I'm going to click X, click OK, and there it is. So next view I'm going to place is a new one called Section View. So what a section view does is it can cut a view in half or down another line that you've defined and show you the inside of it. So I'll click Section, and I'm going to click on this view, and then notice how I've got this little crosshair thing going on. I want to click right above the midpoint, so not on the midpoint, but kind of float above it so that dotted line follows. I'll click. I'm going to come down a little bit past it, right click and say Continue, and then I can place this just off to the side like that, and there it is. So what that did is it created a cut right here. So we've got this cutting plane line, a cutting line, and then it's showing you what this looks like looking at it that way. That's what those arrows mean. I can move this. I need to. And yeah, so then I'm going to go to Annotate. Oh, yeah, Annotate. And then first things first, I'm going to use this. This is my center mark. So I'm going to click on this big circle here to indicate that that's a circle, or that's metric. Same with these holes there. I'm also going to use my centerline bisector, which shows that these line up. So that's the center mark, just turn sideways. Same with this one. And then over here, I'm going to do that with this line and that one. Now, I can stretch this one down just a little bit farther, just to show that it goes all the way through. With this crosshair, I can come up all the way like that. And pull this one over to the side, that over to the side, and this all the way to the bottom. And that just shows that it's symmetric across all of those lines. Okay, and that is really it. So today, for this part, we're just going to skip the dimensions, and we're just going to worry about the views. So up here where it says sheet 1, I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say, oh, not that one. So I can right click here and I can say new sheet. So what that does is it's going to create another page to the same file. I can do it there, or if I go to, I believe it's Tools, Nope, Sketch, Nope, find it. Just a moment. Thank you for your patience. I know it's here, but oh well. So we'll just go, oh, it's right, it's under Place Views. So Place Views, and then New Sheet, I can click it there too. What that did is just created a new page. So I can go back to where I was before. That was Sheet 1, and then on Sheet 2, I can create a drawing for the second part. So I'll go Base, I'm going to find Part 2, which was the angle brace. And this one's scale looks good, and that's a good front view right there. I'm going to come up and do top view, this view, and then that one right there. So these two are technically, they're pretty much the same. And for now, I think it's okay just to get rid of this one, just kind of like the example does, or the top one, actually, either way. So I'll go like that, but just for consistency, I'll keep that one. And make sure those are highlighted. Click OK. And now I can do the auxiliary view. So I'll click here on this view, that, come up right here, right click, or just escape, and that will drop that in there. Annotate, cross section, or sorry, center mark, and then centerline bisector here and here, and that's it. So don't worry about the dimensions on the assignment right there. Okay, so I'll go to Place Views, New Sheet, Base, and then this time this is the one I want. It's the pipe connector. I'll click here, here, and then if I go here, these two are the same, so I can get rid of that one. Okay, I'm going to click OK. So I'm going to change this a little bit. In the example, it only has a detail view, 2 sets of detail views. I'm going to add a section view on this one, like the first part. So we'll go section view, click here, click, down, right click, continue. And I'll place that one right here. Right, and I'm going to move this text so it's up above, just so it's not crammed. And also rise or pull those both up. And now I'm going to use a detail view. So that's next to section. I'm going to click right on this little spot here, and if I click and drag, it'll open up, or click and then just let it follow my cursor. It's going to create like a little circle that's cutting out. Oh, come on. I'm going to try that again. Cancel. There we go. So I'm going to change this to 4:1, so it's quite a bit bigger. Place it right there. I'm going to move the text so it's above it instead of below it. And what that did there is it took a chunk out of that section view and zoomed in for us. It's a pretty cool thing because I can actually move this around and it will update up there and resize it as well. Like that. Looks good. So I'm going to do one more section view, or sorry, detail view of the section view. Click here. Like that. I'm going to make this 2:1, so it's quite a bit larger. Or sorry, 4:1. Put it over there. And leave that like that. Awesome. Just kind of line these up a little bit better. I'm going to annotate them. So we'll annotate center mark. I'll click this one on the outside so it gets all of it. Centerline bisector, which goes here. Awesome. And I'm going to make this a little smaller so it doesn't take up so much room. So I'm going to shrink that down. That's better because I'm really just trying to get a view of that angle. And according to the assignment, this is the only one that we're going to turn in. So what we need to do is add our name in the bottom corner. So I'm going to go text right here, draw a little text box. I can write in all caps my name, so I'll say Mr. Barlow. And then maybe the period, so I'll just say A1. And right now it's 0.12 font, or 12-point font. If I highlight all of that, I can make it larger. So let's go to a 24 point. I'll say OK. Now it's much easier to read that. It's just a lot bigger. If I ever want to go back and edit it, I can just double click it, highlight, and then change the size. So if I went down to 1/8 inch, it'd be like that, but it's pretty hard to see it. Go back to 24. There we go. And now I can go File, Export, PDF, and I can just save that somewhere I can find it and upload it to Canvas. And that is the assignment.